significance of not just this win, but improvement that you've made since Illinois to achieve something Purdue hasn't done in like 36 years?
Well, it was a big game for us, and it's coming off a big road win against Northwestern for us, so it's tough to play there. And they've had our number. I don't know if it was 6 or 7 games they beat us in a row. So just being able to hang in there and and compete, I thought we were very, very fortunate to win the game. They had us out of sorts. Their defensive pressure really bothered us, and we weren't able to get the ball inside like we wanted to. And it's a good learning, game for us to be able to struggle like that and still be able to grind it out and get a victory. But it's tough. It's tough to get wins in the Big Ten, and like I said, we're very, very fortunate, and it's a ranked team, and we just got to keep getting better. We got to, hang our hat on our improvement. And defensively, we've made some strides, but we got to be a better offensive team than we were tonight.
What fueled that run there late in the second half?
I think anytime we can get in transition a little bit and make some perimeter shots, once again, we're not making a lot of threes, and we're going to have to knock down some threes to open some things up. And until we do, it's not going to open some things up. But just getting some stops, getting some loose balls, long rebounds to get in transition, and then knocking down a couple shots really helped us. We executed a couple times on plays, and we're able to get the back cut at the end, which is a huge play for us, a huge score. When AJ made the pass to Rayfield.
Russell had 20 points, but it came on 18 shots. Just how vital was the defense on him?
Well, he's a really good player. He's where he's at as a freshman is where Evan Turner was at as a junior. And he has one of his lesser games, and he has 27 and 5. That's pretty good. He's the best guy we've seen so far on the perimeter. It's not even close. I thought our guys did a great job against him. And think about the numbers that he had. A couple of those, especially the one, the step back at the end, he just missed it. He got away from our guy. He makes that 50% of the time. That's his rhythm. And I went 5-way switching and took our big boy out. But I knew he was going to get where he wanted to get. And so I've never fouled like that before ever. And really, it's just out of respect for him and his skill package. He's the real deal.
Coach, of these 4 wins you all have had, and each come in a different way each time, but the latest one tonight, these were probably games, let's be honest, you may have let slip away early in the season. What's going right that these guys can be in these pressure situations and still make the necessary plays?
Yeah, well, you have to understand, if we make our free throws, I don't have to get into that scenario. And so our guys made their free throws the whole game, and then 4 different guys missed 1 free throw in the last 3 to 4 minutes for us. And if we can make our free throws in that time, we made them at Northwestern at the end of the game. If we can make our free throws, we're in a better situation. But that was a grinder. That was a Big Ten grinder. And we were able to get the necessary stops. And, Kendall Stevens misses that second free throw. We're probably not stopping him in transition. He makes it. We're able to stop them, and then get up to him. And I think that really created a longer and more difficult shot. But if you let that rebound go and he gets it on the run, oh man, especially only being down 1, that's why people don't foul the way you do. But I just thought that we got lucky that he missed that last shot, so that's the reason I fouled with him. I knew how good he was. But our guys have been able to make plays and to make them at the end, especially at the end of the Iowa game and at the end of this game. Indiana, we were able to win by 16, 17 points, I'm not sure. And then Northwestern, we had it around 10. But to get into these games like Iowa and Ohio State and be able to get these wins is huge for our confidence. The defensive end is where we've made strides. We have to get better offensively if we expect to win, especially on the road.
What did you feel like they did so effectively to take AJ away? And I guess kind of a 2-part question. What was he doing then defensively, getting the blocks? And I thought his rebounds sparked that.
It wasn't his fault. It was Sam Thompson, Shannon Scott, and their defensive pressure. We couldn't pass and catch at times because those guys were getting into. You got to be able to back cut. You got to be able to move. And then you got to drive. A lot of the drives, we just finally said at a timeout, just stop doing what we've talked about offensively. Just drive the basketball. And that's how we got to the free throw line, because we weren't going to be able to pass it around the perimeter. They weren't going to let us, because they know that's how we play. We move the ball, we break you down. And when we do that, that's when we get them inside, and it's tough to handle us. So they were smart, and they really got in the passing lanes and made it tough for us. But it also opened up some driving lanes, and we were able to get to the free throw line.
Was it nice to see Dakota be able to make some shots tonight?
Yeah, he started off the second half and he hit that one in transition, and then they overhelped right in front of the bench again, and didn't have to. And then they tried to jump the basketball, and they just left him, and he was able to stick that one. So it was good for him to knock a couple down.
Matt, with them not having Loving, does that not make you stretch your defense quite so much?
No question that helped us. Russell was obviously the guy we're worried about. The other guys, they can go off on you, but if the number one thing for Thompson and for Scott is just keeping them in front of you, especially in transition. But when we found out Loving wasn't playing it, he's the other guy we don't leave. And then if Russell has the ball in his hands all the time, the people out there, you can pack your defense. I think that helped us. There's no doubt about that stretches us out a little bit more. It helps the guys in the post, but it also helps those guys making their back cuts. You know how they dribble and back cut guys. It just opens up a lot of things because that allows balance. When you have two guys like that can shoot the way they can, it really helps everybody on the court.
Matt, there were at least two plays where you guys were up against the shot clock, and Ray just beat them to the rim. Now, I don't know if that was Ray or I don't know if those were moments where I'm not going to look very good for them film to more defensively, but just how important were those plays when it's hard to score?
Right.
You were able to steal a bucket.
Oh, they were huge. Ray did a good job. Ray got a couple pull-ups that way that didn't go down for him. I thought were good shots. I thought he had an open three that was a good shot that he missed. But those drives, especially when we're struggling to score like that, were big plays.
Matt, the last play, we put Bryson in on Russell. What was, I guess, what were your instructions? Obviously, don't foul. And what was
right. Just not let him get ahead of steam. Don't let them advance the ball to him. You don't want to deny at that point, because when you deny, they'll go to somebody else, they'll cut him diagonally, and then he gets on the run, and you're at his mercy. So we want to keep him in front and just make him dribble the basketball as much as he can before he gets to half. And with, I think 4.9 is how much time was. He did a really good job of staying with him, not fouling him, and then making him shoot a difficult shot.